Now, I know you've heard a lot about artificial intelligence before. It's always in everybody's conversation, but today it is really changing how we do marketing, and it's really changing the results we're getting for our clients and how we're doing our operations. We're becoming more efficient and getting excellence done at a sophistication level that just wouldn't be possible without it.
Turnkey marketing brings out your best. We break the mold, we raise the bar.
So I'm joined here with Cameron Schuyler, our director of our creative team and our web development team, who's firsthand, he's utilizing this every single day, and it is changing so fast, and that's the exciting part. They're always coming out with something new. So Cameron, can you tell us a couple things that are going on and how we're using AI and
the world of AI? It's deep.
Yeah.
I mean, we are using it daily, for one, inside of all of our Adobe applications, right? I mean, all the graphic design software nowadays is utilizing AI inside most basic tasks. You know, whether you're just playing with layers or generating full-on images, we're using Adobe in so many ways to enhance our current graphics and make those even better than what they were before. And the standard is constantly raising because of AI, right? We're able to make basically images that would take like hours to create, right, would be sort of like in minutes. And that technology has moved forward into video in a lot of areas as well. So Runway ML is one that we've been using, and that one generates video based off of prompts. So similarly to other AI programs like Midjourney, where you could type in kind of what you want from the application, you'll get an image or a video out of that. So from that prompt. And it's similar to ChatGPT, but there's more controls over like how you create the image, like the size of the image, things like that, right? Like the dimensions of your canvas. So VEO is the new Google product, very similar to Runway in a lot of ways, but more advanced. And it's kind of taken a giant leap forward past the other competitors in quality. It's just leaps and bounds. Like instantaneously, we can see the difference with this one over some of its other competitors.
the quality is so good.
It's crazy.
It's hard to tell what's real and what's not.
It is, like, you kind of get fooled by it all right off the bat, right?
Yeah.
And it continues to fool you all the way through, which is the trippy part. Yeah.
So the part that it makes me think is the cost of production now
Right.
is almost been, it's not completely been wiped out, but a
Correct.
commercial that might have cost 10,000, even a multi-million-dollar commercial.
Right.
You have talent, you have permitting, you have lighting, grips, you have all these things to say, make a video spot, right? Or a commercial.
Right.
Well, now with like AI, you're eliminating a huge chunk of that. It still takes a lot of know-how. It takes a lot of editing. There's always changes
And creativity.
pivots.
Yeah, yeah.
But
You still leave that
you're
element.
cutting out so much aspects. And the part that I think is so great is the fact that instead of having to really put a ton of time and our eggs and then all in one basket, if you will, for like a video,
Right.
that we're shooting for one of our clients. Now we're able to produce 3 or 4 videos in maybe a tenth the amount of time, right?
Yeah.
And be able to test and learn and be able to have the right video for the right market.
Absolutely.
So I think if you could just talk a little bit about how we're moving quickly with the technology and saying, we would generally build an ad. Let's say it was one of our automotive clients,
Right.
or pharmaceutical, any CPG, any of these different clients. It would usually be like a static ad that would have maybe a blue truck on it.
Right.
And now how you're developing it so that we can do multiple colors, multiple trim lines, multiple calls to action, multiple offers.
Right.
And so that the person who sees the ad in Louisiana looks a little different than the ad that's targeting somebody in Seattle or New York or for the buyer, their preference. I think that is huge.
Oh yeah. I mean, AI gives us less overhead to reach like a final product. It's supercharging our creativity, like right off the bat, right? Like, so as soon as we start entering in a prompt or an image into AI, we get back kind of at least an idea of what we want. That helps us progress the idea to our final product. And I think you can at least get a lot of ideas out of AI and directions on where to go. And that's what's great about AI. It's kind of that like middle point in the creative process where you can kind of draft a bunch of ideas, and then some of them actually work great. Like you can use them in your final product even. It takes a little bit of crafting even still to get to that final product, I'd say, the final video or graphic that you're trying to produce. But that's where we come in. We understand how to utilize AI. These advanced programs do take some knowledge and skill. It's less of an overhead nowadays, and more people are accessing AI. It's going to be more widespread. Everybody will be able to make video content pretty easily, but there will be a subscription service. The real creative people are going to be able to generate that and utilize it with other software to create the final output.
See, that's what I like how you're talking about. And I think that if you're utilizing a tool to achieve your original objective that you have been, that's really not progress, right?
Right.
Progress, like real transformational change, is when you use the technology to take you way further than you've ever were. Like you were saying, like we're able to be more creative than we had time for, before we were
like
able to.
Logically, we couldn't infuse 100 hours into 3D modeling something for graphic background. But now we can do some of that with Midjourney just almost instantaneously. And we're going to see that in Google VEO. Now, video will take more time to generate, right? That's only going to get faster though. As time goes on, AI won't take as much energy to produce, and that will be even faster. We'll get instant results, but it does take some time to finesse things and put things together, but it's so much time savings, it's crazy. Just one example, you could kind of take like a Van Gogh that took him maybe years to paint and have that generated, or a similar style generated, right?
In minutes.
Yeah, in minutes. Like the Sistine Chapel could be up there, it's like he spent years of his life up there. There's just so many uses on how to save time with AI, and that's what the future of AI is. It's going to make you capable of doing more, I think, with less.
So you got to have a platform that can utilize this in a holistic, approach, right?
Yeah.
Because I noticed that like right now, instead of things being so linear, we're able to create this flywheel, this approach that says, here's our objective, here's our target audience. We build ads in a generative way, right? As opposed to like a static way. We could put them on our platforms that are utilizing real-time signals that actually go back to the ads, to adjust the targeting, to adjust the objectives, as opposed to this process. Okay, we did all this, now let's learn, now what are we going to change and come back around. Now it just seems like it's a snowball is what we got to keep working on. It's not just like I'm trying to go from A to Z and then evaluate how was that, what do we need to change. So I think that part is transformational.
Oh yeah. The critical thinking that it kind of forces you to do too.
Yeah.
Like when you bounce the ideas off of AI, I think that's helping everybody in that sense. Like with our marketing efforts, it's changing our approach, and that we can kind of see these different sides, different ways to kind of go about it.
Yeah. Storytelling is stronger. I think from a media buying, it's definitely stronger. I mean, it is. I'll tell you what, though, you got to be careful, because if you don't get your attribution down, your measurement down, it all like kind of falls apart. Like you have to know and make sure that it's actually set up right. If you're trying to get people to your website and to sign up for an event, right? Let's say, you really have to make sure that you have that whole journey mapped out and all the measurement along the way, and be able to value, what different engagements are worth to you and how that leads to a sale, so that goes back into Google, programmatic, Meta, TikTok, whatever, all the different platforms, so that it can self-learn. And we direct that, but
that was deep. That was that was a lot to chew on.
No, because I've noticed that it has really made us up our game with measurement.
Oh yeah. It has. We kind of look at data differently from the beginning all the way down to the end of its journey, right? And whether that's converting a customer through something like a video ad, right? Like all of that could be streamlined with AI, that whole journey, and like that data can be refined by AI too. So like we can take that and feed it back into it. It's a loop, but we can keep making it better because of that loop.
What do you think are some of like the first couple steps, like how they could utilize this new way of technology and just imagination?
Well, first thing they could do, I mean, they have a trial right now. It's like a free 30-day trial for the Google VEO. They themselves could check it out with their personal accounts and see how powerful it is. And just, you have to witness it to see how awesome.
And you can make a fun video.
Yeah, you can make a fun video. You can script it. It's awesome. But check it out. Check that out for sure. And then there are trials for a lot of these other AI programs for the top tier, but there's also free tools out there like ChatGPT, everyone knows, but that's a great one. There's new ones from Google, like Notebook is another great one that they came out with, Notebook ML. And that it's just like different
LM, yeah, that
LM.
was- yep,
Sorry,
yep,
yeah. ML is the runway.
yeah, military, right?
Yeah, sorry. So that's another great one. I mean, like Gemini's model is just advancing every day, and
Yeah.
I mean, AI itself is helping AI get better. So it's just it's crazy what Google's doing right now.
Yeah,
in
and
the AI space.
And I feel like it's one of these things where you have to be on the front of the wave. You cannot be
Oh, yeah.
in the middle or behind it.
Yeah, be adjustable,
Otherwise,
flexible.
everybody's expendable, right?
Right.
Everybody not in the right seat and doing the right thing, doesn't bring value. But utilizing this technology
Right.
and staying ahead of it. And that just also means you have to be willing to accept some risk, right?
Right.
And it's not always going to get you this perfect, like, you just set it and forget it and put a prompt in and it's done or something, right?
No,
You have to work it. But,
yeah.
But it still gets you, if it can still move us 10, 20, I think it does a lot of times 70% of the work. And then we can bring in the other.
Oh, for sure. Basically gives us a huge leap forward with video and with graphics. And there's other applications that we use it for, even in like web development, but not these particular tools, but just, getting feedback from AI on the best processes, best practices, and even like code snippets. Yeah, that's pretty crazy.
And I think kind of the marketing of the future is changing very quickly.
Oh, yeah.
As opposed to, it used to be you had one person who knew everything.
Right.
Then it became very siloed because you had to have an expert in, say, search engine optimization, and then say Google AdWords and Bing, and then Meta ads, and before Meta was Facebook, Instagram, right? And then Snapchat and TikTok and blah, blah, blah. Now I see that the technology is allowing it to change much more back to a more synergistic type of approach where you have multiple people, because you need that view. You need the view of being able to look at multiple different scenarios. For us, it helps because we can look at multiple clients. But I think the other side is you need different people's ideas to say what resonates, right?
Sure.
What works.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I think the world of like the marketing is changing to where you don't want silos anymore. You want linear pods, go forward.
Oh, yeah.
And
I
really
think
deliver.
It's going to make more people more capable of doing more. Right.
Yeah.
So like being that one-man marching band kind of works now. I mean, it's going back to that approach, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you as an individual will be able to do so much more to produce the content. I mean, you could, as an entrepreneur, you're getting a huge leg up from AI. Like bang for your buck, huge bang for your buck on production and graphics, things like that. Advertising ideas, all the works.
Yeah.
You can use it for so much.
I love it. So we're going to bring in Brett, who is another one of our videographers and producers, and see how he's using AI right now for major Fortune 500 brands, as well as some of our more regional.
Yeah, let's call him up. Brett, I mean, we had some questions about what you utilize personally for video and graphic production in the AI realm. Like pretty much how does your process work from the beginning with AI content production?
Well, it always starts with a prompt. Typically, I create an image first. So I would be using probably something like Midjourney or ChatGPT or even Grok in some cases. But I create roughly about what I want to have in the video and start with that. That would be like, okay, I make a start and an end frame for video, and then I can create an entire scene. So you're basically just using whatever images you create to be sort of like a storyboard for the cast and crew that is AI video.
Gotcha.
If that makes sense.
Oh, totally. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Sounds like you were conceptualizing it first with imagery, and then, for things like Luma that fills in the gap, but like with VEO or Runway, it generates from the images or the training that you give the AI, right?
Right. Well, and some of them you can just describe the prompt. I always find it better to give it something to work off of. Like, I already like what this looks like, so let's build off of that, rather than having to start fresh and go like, okay, well, here's the idea in a nutshell. Because there's too many moving pieces, I think. Like when you start, now we'll get to a point where it gets a little bit better, but there's just too many moving pieces when you start a video and say, I want this to do this. But if you like already have like a reference and you can say, make the car's tires spin out, or make the hand rotate as it showcases the product. You know, those kinds of things you can do if you have an object to kind of base it off of. And then it's a matter of realism at that point. If you say a 2025 Jeep, you give the exact make, model, year, everything to Midjourney, it'll give you like a real image. Whereas if you do it with Kling, it'll give you like a broken image that isn't really realistic, but it will build off of a real image a lot better.
Tools vary greatly, but you're essentially
Sure.
utilizing the variety of tools that are out there to see what sticks best. And then maybe adjusting that in Photoshop, putting that into a video prompt application after you like what you see, and then generating the video from there.
Right. Photoshop is always really great to bounce off of. All of these tools necessitate not only the creativity of the person who's driving it, but also the afterthought of creativity. You know, if you were on a movie set and you wanted to get a certain shot, you'd know that your VFX team needed you to have like a green screen or a blue screen behind you, or some sort of lighting, and you like, the more forethought you can give to what you're going to be working with later, the better. What's lucky is I know I'm going to be working on all of these things, so it means that there's a straight jump from what I'm creating to what I'm editing later, and it's a lot easier for me to work at this point. It wasn't the case, say, even a year ago, but now it's a lot easier for me to clean up something that is AI generated than it would be to try and get that as a stock piece or something like that. Most people won't be able to tell it's even AI video. And the kinds of things you can create right off the rip without any editing, they're nearly impossible to tell. I think you and I were talking about, let me see if I can do this. Yeah, this is a product that we were making for a client, and this is all AI. Totally can't tell that that's AI just by looking at it.
It's amazing. And if I needed
from
that
a static
shot
image.
and we didn't get that shot, we would have to recall out a whole production to get that one thing done.
Yeah,
And now we can just say, you know what? We don't have to compromise. We can get what we want.
Right. It basically gives us a whole lot more options with creativity, right?
And kind of what I was saying to Cameron earlier about this, and I think that this really drives the point home, is you either adapt or you go away with a lot of these things. And I think adaptation is going to be, you know, key in the next couple of years, like adapting and really diving in on these tools and using them as much as possible. I like to have fun with it, but any other thing, you know, like you look at music, how it's created today, right? You get a DAW and it's just one guy creating things. Like 30 years ago, you're going to a studio like 2 hours away and cutting together thousands of hours. And now it's like, you want to create a music, you can just do it on your phone, pop open GarageBand and just jump right in. You have a MIDI controller, you're, 10 steps ahead of everyone else. And so things that are like gate kept by money become consumer friendly very, very quickly, as much as we can help. And so I think that that's a big thing too, to see these being in the hands of everyday humans. And then, like, let's say they're one of our clients, it's like your dollar goes miles with just AI video and AI image generation. So I think it's really good stuff.
So I got 3 things you need to do with AI right now for your business, and you need to demand from your marketing agency. So the first thing you need to do is you need to automate the mundane so you can focus in on the magic. That is huge. You need to use AI to not just give you the data, but to allow you to be able to tell the story. Secondly, turn data into direction. Stop guessing and start scaling. This is huge. So when you're looking at actual recommendations, you have to harness AI in there with all the right tagging. If you don't get the tagging right, you don't get the measurement right, you're not getting the AI right. Number 3, build personalized experiences. So with AI, you're no longer having to just tell one story and hope it works for everyone. right? Jack of all, master of none. Not if your agency is building their creative, their messaging, and their targeting, utilizing all the latest AI and being able to put that together between the platform and the creative. You don't have to settle for an okay ad. You can have the perfect ad for the right customer at the right time in the right place. The ad that we do for somebody in Texas, and not even just in Texas, in Dallas, is different than what we do in San Antonio. Those are the 3 things you need to do with AI for your business today. So I hope this short video was real exciting for you, hearing about what is happening with AI and how Turnkey Marketing is really on the front of the wave with this. I mean, we are future-proofing our clients and developing at a level that is really, let's see, we started 2002. So all these years, I've never seen it progress so fast. Everything that we could ever dream of and creative-wise, we're starting to be able to realize for our clients. It's, do you have high will and do you have high skill? And we do, and I hope you do too, and your business succeeds. Thank you, Cameron. Hey, thank you. You're so creative, so rocking out. A lot of people are afraid of AI. You gotta watch.
I say embrace it. It's going to supercharge your marketing. It's going to be able to, it's going to extend your creative ability, and it's going to improve your business. Absolutely.
Yeah, and don't think, I like what Cameron said, don't think about AI helping to replace what you've already been doing. No. Use AI to go well beyond further than you ever have. Thank you very much, Eric Barrison, CEO here at Turnkey Marketing.